Good Friday night to everyone out there in YouTube land. It's End-Time Watchman coming back to you. I was going to be through making videos tonight, but I ate me a good old steak and took me a bath and brushed my teeth, and I'm feeling better. You know, I got a second wind. Having said that, well, you must be rich eating steak. Well, I got news for you. Watch this. I bought my steak, my whole cow, at $2.25 a pound, organically raised, non-GMO, no herbicides, no pesticides on the grass. Totally natural and organic at $2.25 a pound, cut up and wrapped. Go to any grocery store you want to and buy organic beef for that. Hello? But I didn't sit on my butt and I didn't depend on a grocery store chain to give me food that's healthy for my children and my wife. Now, having said that, that was just a little rant I figured I'd put out there just because I could. But having said that, I did enjoy my steak off the grill. It was good. It was real good. I've got my protein. I'm getting pumped back up, and I'm going to make another video because, you know, I got off on a long-term, several part. I don't know. Let's just look and see if I can remember how many there is to it. My wife ain't downloaded them yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 part series on Rod Blagojevich and James Traficant on how they, when they stand up, they get railroaded. See, if you're a congressman or a senator and you stand up, they're going to throw you out of office. That's why none of them stand up. But having said that, I was going to do this video on another issue, but now it's going to be on this one. I'm going to talk to you for a minute about earmarks. Some of you already know, and some of you are well aware with it, but there are people out there that don't, that might get this video. So therefore, I feel the need, and I feel led, as I was taking a shower and talking to God and everything. I think it would be very, very informative for the truth to come out about what an earmark is and who all. I won't name all the names, but that put earmarks onto bills and legislation that get passed. In other words, it's kind of like a tick. These earmarks, say there's a piece of legislation. An earmark reminds me of a 100-pound tick on a 2-pound dog. In other words, that tick sucks the blood out of and the life out of that dog, which is the bill or the legislation, and the earmark is the tick. Now that tick is already bigger than the bill in and of itself, but the bill gets passed because, in other words, for those senators or congressmen and all to vote for it, they've got to have their stuff put in there to please their construction people, their pharmaceutical people, their other people in their state. In other words, they're buying votes by the earmarks, okay? Not one thing different than Rod Blagojevich has been accused of, the governor from Illinois, okay? But like I said in other videos, every one of those senators from Illinois, they sit there and say that this is a hard time. They quoted Lincoln about this, bringing it back to the Constitution. I mean, they had a friggin' violin out, you know, and I wish to God I could have gave them some cheese to go with their whining, their lies, you know, cheese and wine. Some of you get that, some of you won't. But having said that, these people are guilty of earmarks. Let me read the term earmark. Is used to refer to a provision on legislation that directs funds to be spent on specific projects. Typically, legislators seek to insert earmarks which direct specific amount of money to a particular organization or project in his or her home, state, or district. Okay. Let's just say that Mr. Rod Blagojevich was trying to sell the Senate seat for $100,000 or $1 million. Okay, I challenge you, my friend. He was doing it for personal gain, they said, right? I watched the whole deal. I know what they said. Okay, I'm gonna try to remain calm and try to go slowly through this. Now, this will probably fall on a lot of deaf ears because I get censored. I don't get the hits I'm supposed to get. I don't get put out there like I'm supposed to get put out there. But at least I won't have any blood on my hands because you got an End-Time Watchman coming to you. See? And if you go read Ezekiel 33 and shake the dust off of your Bible, again I will say to you, that when the watchman on the wall sounds the trumpet and warns the people of what's coming, and he does that, guess what? There's no blood on his hands. I don't see any blood on this hand. I don't see any blood on that hand. Therefore, when I stand before the Creator of the universe, I will stand not guilty, because I have warned the American people. Now, back to the matter at hand. I'm going to read one more time what an earmark is. And I want you to hear me tonight. An earmark is the term used to refer to a provision in legislation that directs funds to be spent on specific projects. Typically, legislators seek to insert their earmarks, and it directs specific amounts of money, and let me stop there, not their money, your taxpayer money, is directedly, in other words, there's a bullseye on why he wanted that earmark. And it is specifically for his personal gain and votes. Alright, watch. Particular organization or project in his or her home, state, or district. This differs from the appropriation of money to a particular government agency. Now, let me put it to you in real American terms you can understand, and somebody with a whole heck of a lot more Harvard University or whatever college degree wrote this. So let me break it down and put it in terms that maybe somebody that might be on my level can understand. Okay. There's a bill and there's legislation coming before the Senate and the Congress. Let's take, for instance, the bailout bill. It failed first, remember? Then they had all this freaking stuff. They were going to be martial law and everything if it didn't pass. We've been under martial law, okay? So they didn't scare me. They only scared a few of those that were against it. So when it come back around, there was a lot of earmarks and all added to it. If you go look at the bailout bill, you'll see that I'm telling you the truth. Now, those earmarks that were designed specifically to certain states, those people that put those earmarks and sponsored those earmarks and got those earmarks passed are a whole hell of a lot more criminal than Rod Blagojevich or James Traficant. But you that are not in the know, that look at the TV and expect that everything the TV tells you or a senator and congressman is true, you won't understand what I'm telling you. It'll go by you on deaf ears, and it'll let it keep going by you. But somebody's going to wake up over this. Somebody's going to understand that I withdraw my consent from this government, from this system. I guarantee you, somebody will wake up. Let's move on. Now, it says, thus, the use of earmarks in the U.S. Congress has expanded significantly over the past 30 years and is presently the focus of much controversy. Wait a minute now. Okay, let's move on. Page number 2. And I ain't Walter Cronkite, baby. I'm not Chris Matthews. I ain't got a tingle up my leg from Obama being president. No, I'm not Fox News. Okay, I'm not Shepard Smith. I'm not emotionalized by somebody chasing somebody down a friggin' street in L.A. because by God, everything they had they lost and they just freaked out and they get sped down the road in the car. No, that don't bring tingles up my leg. I'll tell you what puts me on fire is, by gosh, when we get the truth out of what the American people have had done to them, and that's the real deal. This is the real news. I'm telling you the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. And if you don't like it, you might want to go back to MSNBC, you might want to go back to Rachel Stupid Cow, or you might want to go back to Chris Dumb News, or you may want to go to Fox News, FAUX, because I ain't playing no game. You might even want to go to Crooked News Network, that's CNN. I don't give a rat's behind where you go. If you don't want to hear me, see ya. Part 2 coming up on the earmark.